Good afternoon, first grade. Today we're going to read start finishing up our book, Judy B. Jones, First Grade Cheater Pants. All right, so we are going to read chapter 8 today to see what happens after Judy B. Jones gives the group report to Mr. Scary. All right, chapter 8, A plus us. A plus! We got an A plus on our poem. Mr. Scary came right back to our desks, and he took his red pencil. He wrote an A plus on top of our paper. What a wonderful poem you guys wrote, he said. I love that. We jumped and clapped for ourselves. It was the funniest morning I ever saw. And that is not all, because lunch and recess kept on being fun too. An account of when our four friends are in happy together. Life is a joy, I tell you. After recess, I hurried back to room 1 because I couldn't wait to see what assignment we would do next. I skipped into the next room and looked at the board, and then boom, I came to a screechy stop. On account of this, the board had two terrible words on it. It said spelling test. And I forgot all about that stupid thing. That dumb test was supposed to be last Friday, and then it got pulled off till today. And so how was I even supposed to even remember that last night? Because I was worried about my note, of course. My leg felt weakish and limpish. Very slow, I dragged my feet back to my seat. The desks were back to normal. Herb was already sitting down. He turned around and looked at me. What's wrong, Judy B? He asked. Don't you feel good? I laid my head on my desk. I forgot to study my spelling words last night, he said. And now I'm going to be in trouble with Mother and Daddy again. I did a whine. This whole dumb problem with school, I said. 1 minute you're joyful and happy, and the next minute the joy flushed right out of you. Herb tried to make me feel better. Don't worry, most of the words are easy this week, he said. He paused for a second. Sort of. I did another whine, because sort of does not mean really. In front of the room, Mr. Scary was passing out paper. Is everybody ready for our spelling test this week, he said. He winked. Because you had 4 extra nights to study. I'm sure everyone will get a perfect grade, right? My stomach turned into a knot ball that comment. Pretty soon, the test began. Mr. Scary pronounced the first word, and he said it in a sentence. Fox, he said. The fox is running through the woods. Fox. I perked up a bit. 'Cause I know how to spell fox, of course. I printed it neat on my paper. Fox. The next word is box, said Mr. Scary. I kept all my toys in a box. Box. I set up even perkier. Because, box is just easy as fox. Box. Mr. Scary smiled. The next word is wood, he said. I would like all of you to do well on this test. Wood. Just then I stopped perking, because sometimes I get mixed up with that one. I wrote down 2 letters. Wood. Then I crossed down an account. That was the wrong kind of wood, I believe. I tried again. Wod. I shook my head. That didn't look right. Finally, I covered my face and did a groan. Shh, said May. Herb started to turn around to see what was the matter. Then he stopped himself, because no turning around during a test, of course. I looked at what I wrote some more. Then I strained my brain and tried to remember how to spell it. Only nothing came out to me. Finally, I did another groan. And then that's when a miracle happened. My friend Herbert came to my rescue. First, he shifted a TC bit in his chair, and he moved his paper to where I could see it. Then he pointed the word with his finger. My mouth opened at that lovely gesture. Because I didn't even ask him to do that. Herb just gave me the word to me. Like a gift. I stretched my neck to see a little better. And yay, as soon as I got one word, my imagination sparked. And I remember how to spell the letter L the L perfectly good. I wrote it down on my paper. WOULD. I was just in time. Mr. Scary was already on his next word. Peek, he said. I saw you peek. Just then I sat in my seat very still. I did a gulp. 'Cause I really thought he saw me peek, that's why. Only good news, I was wrong. On account he didn't see me peek. He didn't. And besides, what I did this time wasn't even bad. Probably. Because Herb shared that word with me. Just like we shared for our poem. Finally I did sigh. And I wrote peek on my paper. After that I took the rest of the spelling test very perfect. And I put what remembered right out of my brain. Sort of. All right. Next chapter 9 is going to be our last chapter. Let's see what happens to Judy B. Jones after her spelling test. All right. And I want you and think about, do you think it was right for Judy B to cheat on the spelling test? Or do you think it's okay because Herb let him do it? I want you decide and find out and then think about it, because chapter 9 we're gonna see what happens next. All right. See you tomorrow.